Hi there, I'm Nancy Nash with Starfish Strength. Today, I want to teach you how to make a healthier strawberry rhubarb dessert that's sure to satisfy your summer sweet tooth. I've always been a huge fan of strawberries. Living in Southern California, I love that I have access to fresh strawberries throughout a good portion of the year. I grew up in New England though, so usually I thought of strawberries as something we could just get in June or July. If you don't have access to fresh strawberries and rhubarb, please feel free to use frozen strawberries and frozen rhubarb so you can make this recipe any time of year. So the first thing I want to do is preheat my oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, I'm going to wash and dry my rhubarb and my strawberries, assuming I'm using fresh ingredients. I'm going to trim any leaves that remain off of my rhubarb. Those are not good eats. Those are poisonous. And then I'm going to slice my rhubarb into 1/4-inch pieces. Now, you could definitely dice it up finer than I am. I'm leaving them a little bit larger because they're going to get nice and soft in the oven, but feel free to dice this up if you like. Now, I have also found rhubarb cut about this size in the frozen food section of my local supermarket, and I've substituted that with great results. Slicing my strawberries, I'm actually just going to cut them in half, depending on the size of your strawberries. If you have some particularly large strawberries, you may want to cut those in quarters. Again, when I've used frozen strawberries, sometimes those come pre-sliced, so you can use them that way as well. Once everything is cut to my satisfaction, I'm going to lay out 2 baking trays, approximately like 9 by 13, could be a little bit bigger or smaller. I'm going to coat them in parchment paper and then evenly distribute my rhubarb and strawberries. Next, I'm going to measure out my Truvia Sweet Complete brown sugar blend. So I've got an even amount on each tray. And I'm also going to do the same thing with my nutmeg. And then I'm just going to get in there with my hands and mix everything around so that it's evenly dispersed between both trays. So that's it for the prep work. Now we're going to put our trays in the oven and we're going to bake them for 45 to 50 minutes. Now, about halfway through, maybe 20 minutes in, I would just go ahead and switch out your trays. So the bottom one goes to the top one goes to the bottom, just to ensure even cooking. And then I would advise checking them around 40 minutes just to make sure you don't have anything burning along the edges. You can, mix these around about halfway through. I haven't really found that to be necessary. This is a pretty foolproof recipe. So you'll know that your strawberries and rhubarb are done cooking when they're pretty soft. So I'm going beyond, what we would consider fork tender here. I'm actually trying to get them to, kind of the consistency that you would get in pie filling. So a little bit mushy is good for this. And then once everything's cooked to your satisfaction, go ahead and let your trays cool for at least 10 minutes before serving. I think this is best when it's served warm, but you can definitely eat it cold. If you're eating it same day, obviously it's going to be warm, but I have reheated it next day or even a couple days after in the microwave for just about a minute and a half just to get that fresh pie filling flavor. So let's go ahead and give it a taste. So these strawberries are sweet, but with the Truvia in there, you really get that like strawberry dessert sweet. And I really love just the pinch of nutmeg in here. I'm a huge fan of cinnamon and all baking spices, but I found out a while back that nutmeg and strawberry play really nicely together. It's a very subtle thing in this dessert, but I think it just gives it like a little bit of a punch that's very welcome. So you can definitely, notice a difference in texture between the rhubarb and the strawberry, but really the flavor is super cohesive after being cooked together this long. So you really just get that like little bit of a tart hit from the rhubarb that I think really balances the strawberry and the Truvia. So you could serve this with ice cream. I actually like to make kind of a yogurt parfait. I put Greek non-fat yogurt on the bottom, and then I put some sort of like a healthier graham-flavored cereal on top. Thank you so much for making time to cook with me today. I hope you have a new recipe to share with your family and friends. If you're looking for more healthy recipes, workouts, or other exercise and healthy lifestyle inspiration, please check out the rest of my YouTube channel. And if you need some help putting together your nutrition plan and your exercise program, please reach out to me in the link in the description. In the meantime, I look forward to continuing this journey with you, and I'll see you in the next video. Have you been waiting for your strawberries so patiently? Thank you. I've been waiting very patiently. I appreciate it. Do you want to try one? Okay, I'll cut it up for you. Yeah. Oh, good boy. Good boy.